All right, first set, just going with 80 pounds. I'll explain why in a bit once I do this set. But let me get this one in first, just for 5. All right, so what I'm doing, a little bit different, is I got my timer going. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes, then I'm gonna do another set of 5, and we're gonna go 4 sets, 5 reps with 80. Whew. And I've been liking what I've been doing with the bench lately, where I'm not reverse pyramid anymore. I'm just keeping it straight across the board for the same amount of reps, same amount of weight. And I've been feeling good about it. So I thought, hey, let me try this with just chin-ups and pull-ups on Saturday. Drop the weight a little bit at the beginning and kind of just, instead of starting here and dropping down, I think that it might help me a little bit. First of all, it'll be a completely different weight than I'm normally doing. But only time will tell. I've done programs like this before and I have seen good results, but I've also seen very good results with the reverse pyramid style. So we'll just have to wait and see. So today we'll do 80. I'll wait another 45 seconds. I'll do another set of 5. Typically I don't like sets of 5 because it takes a long time to get through the workout if you're resting for 4 minutes. What I'm gonna do is just rest 2 minutes. I'm just showing in real time so you can see it's actually what I'm doing. It'd be pretty easy for me to just say, oh yeah, I'm resting 2 minutes, but I actually just rest like 6 minutes. So we got another 30 seconds and we'll go for it. But yeah, only time will tell on this one. And I have been, if I do say so myself, quite consistent with this approach with the chin-ups and pull-ups. So a little bit of a change up. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, 5 seconds and it's a win it. See what that recovery is. All right, 4, 10. So at 6:10, I'll do my third set. A lot of times I get questions about why I'm not doing chest to bar chin-ups, and I always answer them. But really, it's just that top range. If you're pushing for that full, like getting the bar to this point, you're going to hit technical failure, but not muscular failure. You're going to be far away from muscular failure. Alex Leonidas did a great video about this. I think it was his most recent Q&A, and he just said exactly, what I said. He said it first, but I thought he did a really good job at explaining why, he doesn't really focus on that, or why it wouldn't necessarily be a good prime mover. And I definitely agree, because there's just such a limiting factor to, pushing yourself when you add in that extra range of motion. Bench press and other things are different. Like bench press, you can hit pretty good. There's not really any way to add more range of motion. It'd be like for bench press saying, okay, you do a bench press and then you got to sit up with the weight and do a shoulder press. You go back down, you do a bench press, and you sit up with the weight, you do a shoulder press. Yes, eventually you'll hit technical failure, but you're going to be far away from muscular failure in your chest. It's kind of a weird example, but it's the only thing I could really think of. All right, so we're coming up on set number 3 here, another 20 seconds. I think I'll actually move through this faster, because typically it takes me maybe 15 or 20 minutes, 25 minutes sometimes even, to get through the pull-ups. All right, set number 3 here. That's the benefit sometimes of dropping the weight a little bit Whew. Getting there on that last one. All right, so it's 6:50. So I'll wait till 8:50. We'll get the last set in. Got some good responses from the Sunday video. I don't think I had too many people fired up or upset about the machine bashing, as it were. I wasn't bashing machines. I was just saying that I've seen, and I don't know, there's a pretty good consensus of people saying they'd seen the same thing of better results with free weights. I think you can, there's like, you know, a Venn diagram. You've got, you know, free weights and machines, and then, you know, you've got strength, right? If you train free weights, you'll be able to crush machines and you'll be able to crush strength. If you train machines, you're going to be able to crush machines. You're not going to be able to crush free weights, and you're not necessarily going to be able to crush strength. There's some exceptions. Obviously, there's limiting factors, but the person that can squat 4 plates is going to be able to leg press a lot, right? The person who can leg press a lot is not necessarily going to be able to squat a lot. That's what I mean by the Venn diagrams. I'd have to draw it out to explain better. But that, I think, in and of itself says quite a bit. I think I talked about that in the video. One time I was doing leg press and I had like 8 plates on each side, and I was like, this, I don't know, like, what are we really doing here? All right, so we got another 15 seconds and we'll go last set. Now I never do leg press because I don't have one, but even if I did go to a gym, I wouldn't use it. At least not until the end of the workout, maybe as a burnout, you know, or if for some reason I couldn't do squats or whatever. All right, last set for 5. And then we'll check the body weight and all that. Whew. All right, good stuff, and I think it'll keep this workout a little faster. So what I'll do on Tuesday of next week is go to 82.5, 4 sets of 5. Next week, 85, 87.5, 90, and so on. And after about 8 weeks, 7 weeks, we'll be in new territory for sets of 5. So I don't know, I'm hopeful. I like doing out those numbers. I responded to, I think it was King of Cows, asking about the bench progression, and I sent them a big breakdown of the approach I'm going to use on the bench, hopefully. I get excited about that stuff, plotting it out and just kind of seeing like, all right, if this is the base of the pyramid and I can build it up to here, what does that leave room for at the top with the peak, right? That always gets me fired up. So hang on a second, we'll check the weight. All right, so let's check body weight. Food has been good today. Always good. My wife makes excellent food. Ooh, we are starting to grow again. Good stuff. All right. So here's the workout plan. Checking the box with the first set. I think that was a big success because that only took 15 minutes total with the warm-ups, and it felt good. We're going to do some supported dumbbell rows today, some single arm pull downs, and then farmer curls. Whew, I like that extra set of knees. This felt really good. I love the double rows, obviously, but there's room for another row movement. All right, so onto the pull downs. We're gonna go hopefully 10. I don't really count this type of cable setup as a machine. Just referencing my Rise of Machines video on Sunday. I don't know, like I'm thinking about those things. Like cables can move around quite a bit, so there's still a good element of stability and whatnot. All right, let's go for that. I don't know why I thought of that just now. Whew. That felt like a good 10 reps. All right, so we'll match and then we'll go 90 pounds. A little bit of that reverse pyramid setup. Whew. All right, arms are feeling good. Back and biceps. Tomorrow, we got log press coming up. I'm gonna try and go 185 for 5, I think. Although if I have enough time beforehand, I might do a heavy single beforehand. We'll see. Time will tell. I really liked doing those 4 sets of the chin-ups at a lighter weight. Like, it felt pretty doable. Obviously, when you switch your program, initially it always feels good. The true test is, how will it hold up? Will I progress with it, right? Feels like I might, though. Maybe I can do 10 weeks or so like this and then go back to the kind of peaking approach that I was using. All right. Best way to get better at chin-ups is get leaner, but I like the body weight I'm at. Whew. So just dropping that 10 pounds makes it go from 5, 6 reps to now getting 8 to 10. Whew. The idea with the chin-ups is to start the working weight at something that's maybe 75%, right? So something you could do 8 reps with, but you're only going for 5. That allows you to sustain throughout. last one here, and then onto the curls. Lost count. Whew. All right, we'll give it a couple seconds, and then we'll go for the curls. All right, so we're gonna toast the arms here and the forearms. Fat grip curls or axle curls. Then we'll go fat grip with the dumbbells. Something to think about with this whole lifting journey. Again, I could probably make this into a full video, but just kind of thinking about this as I get some good responses from people to the Rise of the Machines video, is that I've heard both sides of the coin here. Like I've heard people telling me farmer carries, deadlifts, and squats are what healed their back and knees. And then I've heard people saying farmer carries, deadlifts, and squats are what blew out their knees and lower back. So, you know, it's tough. Like you get so much information from people, and everyone's got some story like about how they got hurt doing this, or how then you have somebody else saying that the exact same movement healed them. Like just last week, somebody posted about how they, you know, broke their back, and doing deadlifts is what helped them finally heal their back and get back to being able to move around and feel good. So I don't know. Like I think the science is still catching up with some of this stuff, but a lot of it's how you execute the movement. Are you doing it with good form? Like if you're doing deadlifts and squats with crappy form, yeah, that's gonna mess up your joints. If you're doing it with good form, but you're still doing heavy weight, it's probably gonna strengthen your joints. So just putting like a blanket statement like lifting heavy with squats and deadlifts is gonna destroy you, I don't think that's fair. You know, but I also don't think you could just say, if you just lift heavy with squats and deadlifts, that's the be all end all. Like I think you've got to be cautious with it. You got to progress slowly and make sure your form's good. That's why I advocate for videoing your sets and you know, making sure that you track your progress. But you get information for both different directions, and there's always people that have stories about how, you know, they knew somebody who was a powerlifter and they destroyed their joints, and it's like there's not enough information about any of those people to really determine like what, unless you know that person personally. Natural Hypertrophy had a good video about this. I think it was like the rise of the boomers or something like that. I gotta do my set here, but he was talking about how there's so many people that, like, say you hit a 275 bench for the first time and somebody comes over and is like, I used to bench 4 plates, but now I blew out my shoulder and I can't do it anymore. And they kind of protect themselves. You know, they say they're stronger than you, and then they protect themselves by saying, well, they can't do it anymore. He did a great job with the video. It was like an hour and something long. I watched the whole thing. It was great. But it was just, I don't know. He does a great job describing it. And basically he said, maybe with that person, it's not necessarily, like maybe something did happen injury-wise, but maybe they're just not feeling great because they don't train anymore, or I don't know, like, you know, they're not lifting as heavy anymore. Now, I'm not talking, like, people do have specific injuries and whatnot. He was kind of just talking about it as a blanket statement. There's always that person who comes over and is like, I did way better than you when I was younger. And it's like let's lift each other up. If you see someone hit like a good PR in the gym, like go over and say something positive about them, and hold back if you're stronger than them, like until you know them at least. Like once you know someone, that's different. But don't make the first thing you say to them, 275, that's great. I did 405 when I was a kid. It's like, don't do that like that. No, just say great job. That's awesome. And then when you get to know them eventually, because that's happened plenty of times with people on YouTube, I learned that somebody's like, you know, very, very strong, but they didn't initiate the conversation by saying, you know, I was way stronger or whatever. Like, I don't think that's the move to grow the fitness community. We gotta keep things positive here. All right, so let's get 10 to 12 here. Now that I've rested by talking. Those felt toasty. Little rest. I'll get a drop down set. Also, when I'm doing these talking videos, like I want to share all my thoughts about the subject, like, or at least everything that I, think of beforehand and in the moment. Like, I like having dialogue with people. I mean, occasionally people post things like super aggressively, and in that case, I probably won't engage in dialogue because I don't know, I'm just not interested in, that kind of a conversation with somebody on the social medias. But like this, the video from Sunday had some good comments. People posted kind of saying like, well, I feel like machines could be good for this purpose and machines could be good for this purpose. And I think that's great. Like, having conversations about this type of thing, like I can learn, hear from other people and their experiences. And like I said in that video, I've worked with people where machines for some exercises are the only option. I just think, and I said this right at the beginning of the video, when someone's entering the lifting scene, say someone that's 19 years old, and they go on social media and they see lots of people pushing machines, I think the way to go, if someone's able, is learn the free weights first, and then after the fact, if you have time, great. But in my mind, if your workout is 45 minutes to an hour long, I don't know, like for my routines, there's never really been too much time at the end for machine stuff, save some cable work. That's pretty much it. All right, let's finish up this video here. It's a good workout. Little rest. We'll get the hammer curls. Also, I'm just thinking of this now. We got the grocery store analogy, which we talked about on Sunday. But I do think the route that can happen sometimes is people are laser focused with squats, deadlifts, bench, and then for whatever the reason is, and possibly for enhanced people too, I don't know, but maybe they go back to natty, or they stop the powerlifting and they just can't deal with the fact that they're not able to do those heavy movements anymore. Because I've experienced that too. Like going back to deadlifts as of recent, it's challenging to do lighter weight than you've done before. But I'm not just gonna totally scrap the movement and start saying like, no, deadlifts aren't good. Like the movement isn't what, like doing the movement aggravated my back, but it was improper execution of it. There's nothing wrong with the deadlift itself. So I'm not going to start saying like deadlifts did this. Like, no, like picking something off the ground is the most basic exercise of all time. You lift off the ground, you stand up with it. Like that's one of the most basic things you do in life. So I'm not going to go full bash and destruction on deadlifts and never do them again and just turn to only machines. I can definitely see that happening sometimes with people, where they turn the other direction. Say, all right, I'm not doing none of that anymore. It's all bad, and I'm jumping on the machine boat here. Maybe that's a little extreme. I don't know, but the urge is there. Like when you aggravate something, to try and say like, oh, it was that movement that did it, and it's like, no. Millions of people do that movement and are fine. It's how you were doing the movement, or were you overloading it too much, or were you not rested, or was there something else going on? Like, they're toasted. feel like we got a whole Coffee with Pat episode without even meaning to. Again, this isn't meant to, like, I know people do have real injuries all the time. I've had them. I know plenty of people that do for certain exercises. And some people just aren't meant to, like the behind the neck press is a great example. One movement that's just not meant for everybody, at least initially. I think it's something you got to work up to very slowly by progressing. Alex Lee and I was talking about the good morning exercise being one that you've got to add weight to very, very cautiously, you know, and a lot of times we just let our egos get in the mix and up the weight too quickly. I do it all the time still, even though I know I shouldn't. If I get fired up about something, I'm like, all right, we're going up in weight. That's when I get hurt, you know, still working on it. All right, well, that's it. Till next time, log press tomorrow, 185. Keep the focus, you know, stay strong. Most important thing, like out of all of this, finding a routine that you like and sticking to it. And if you're seeing results doing what you are doing with your routine, like you like it, great, like keep doing it. You're going to see every opinion out there. If you're going on YouTube, you're going on Instagram, like you're going to see people saying no machines. You're going to see people saying only machines. You're going to see people saying just do body weight calisthenics. Like there is every opinion out there. So it's a journey. You got to figure a lot of it out for yourself, you know, or find somebody that can help you do it and help you test methods. You know, that's what I do as a personal trainer. This isn't a sales pitch. I'm just saying what I do with people is watch them do workouts that I put them through with methods that I've tested and exercises I've tested. And then based on how they do with those movements, we make adaptations, or they make adaptations. We make adjustments to progress, to move forward. It's all a journey. Everybody's different, you know? So that's it for today. Appreciate you sticking around. Stay strong, get those calories in. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for log press. Peace.